Welcome to another Concierge on Duty. In conjunction with the Miami Beach Visitor Center, we present this video to give you some ideas of different things to do when you visit Fort Lauderdale. Now, this is a close city to Miami Beach. Sometimes people stay in Fort Lauderdale and come to visit Miami Beach, or vice versa. So we're going to talk about a couple things we recommend doing when you visit Fort Lauderdale. All right, let's just get into it. Now, the first thing that we want to kind of talk about is deep sea fishing. Now, the one thing with deep sea fishing is if you go with a bigger group, it's obviously going to be cheaper than if you just rent a boat for you and your friends. So this is called like a party fishing cruise. And what they do there is you'll be able to go deep sea fishing on the Catch My Drift boat, and the crew will help you with your lines, they'll help you with bait. You don't have to worry about any of that. All you have to do is get on board and kind of enjoy the idea of fishing. So that's what we recommend when we kind of go to deep sea fishing. Now, this is $69 per person. You enjoy a morning, afternoon, or evening drift fishing trip in the deep waters off the Fort Lauderdale, and you fish for kingfish, snappers, grouper, jacks, and all the good bottom-eating fish over the reef. So that's something that we definitely recommend. You can check a look at it. We're going to put some links in the video's description, or if you're watching this on a desktop, you can take your phone and scan the QR code right up there. All right, let's just move on to our next item, the next tour that we kind of recommend. Now, the next thing is kind of something completely different. It's a paddle pub cruise in Fort Lauderdale. So take a look at this. Now, what we do here is this is a paddle boat that you actually have to paddle. So there's some bicycle wheels, so you help paddle the boat, and you can bring your own drinks. You can bring your own food and stuff like that, and that's a good way to kind of enjoy something completely different when you're in Fort Lauderdale. And that's called the paddle pub cruise in Fort Lauderdale. You cruise up and down the New River. This is fun if you want to meet some other people, and that's something that you'll kind of want to consider when you go to Fort Lauderdale. And this is $49 per person, and you're able to, let's see, a couple different items here. You can bring your own coffee, mimosas, beer, wine, or liquor on board. You admire the views of Fort Lauderdale, which they call the Venice of America, and you see breathtaking yachts and mansions from the water. So it's just something cool to do. Sometimes we always get stuck doing the same type of things, and a paddle pub on the water, it's definitely different. We're going to move on to the next item that we want to kind of talk about, and this is Everglades. So if you don't know much about the Florida Everglades, it actually runs kind of somewhat in the middle of Florida. So both coasts have access to the Everglades, but this is a Fort Lauderdale. It's kind of close to Fort Lauderdale, but just west of Fort Lauderdale into the middle of the state. And here they have the SAWGRASS recreational park, and you'll be able to do an airboat ride. You'll be able to encounter some alligators and some other things at the park itself. And what we really like about that is the people who run it are extremely awesome. So I know some of the people that run it. Sawgrass Recreation Park is a staple when you go to Fort Lauderdale. They're close to the Everglades, and you kind of see some alligators. They'll take you through the Everglades. It's a fun day out on the water, and that is something that we recommend as well. And that's $28.84 per person. Again, you can go to that QR code, you can scan it, or you'll find some links in the description. That's something awesome to do. And before we move on, you enjoy an informative 40-minute airboat ride with photo opportunities. You catch a glimpse of the endangered wildlife, and you get to touch a baby alligator as well back on the park. Now we're going to do something else. Now, some people like to be a little bit more exciting. Now this is a Gator Nights tour, again with this is with SAWGRASS Recreation Park, and what this does is gives you a tour at night. Now sometimes during the day you might be able to see a little bit better, but some of the nightlife is kind of a little bit, you know, they're resting, they're trying to get their body temperatures up. So this is just something different to kind of enjoy. And again, that is with SAWGRASS Recreational Park. It's at night. Sometimes we're looking for different things to do at night. You're not into the restaurants and bars and clubs, so this will give you something to do. This is $48 per person, and here you get to seek out Florida's legendary reptile, the American alligator, and experience firsthand the wonder of this one-of-a-kind ecosystem. And we're going to move on to our last tour in this video, and this is Jungle Queen Riverboat. It's a staple in Fort Lauderdale. Now, if you've been to Fort Lauderdale at all, you'll know that this has been going on for years. The Jungle Queen has been going up the New River for as long as I can remember. I was a kid, and I know somebody who was a carpenter on the Jungle Queen. And what they do is they do a nice sightseeing cruise up the New River, and they give you a chance to kind of explore different things to do. And this is a sightseeing cruise in Fort Lauderdale, and you'll enjoy the opportunity to see a different area. This is $23.49 per person. You get to soak up the sights on a cruise through Fort Lauderdale. You get to get the landmarks pointed out to you, and your cruise just enjoyable. And the thing about it, it's a riverboat, so it just gives you that different vibe that you're not on this, you know, yacht. Just kind of bringing back a little old school, a little bit what it was like years ago when people always did the riverboat. And that's probably going to do it for this little video. We only want to highlight a couple different tours. We didn't want to do everything that there is to do. Those are the things we recommend. We always appreciate any comments on the videos, comments on the tours. We'll respond to it, and that just gives you an idea of what there is to do when you visit Fort Lauderdale from Miami Beach. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you again on the next video.